If we were to write the top 4 movies to win the most Oscar awards in function form, we would have Ben-Hur, 11, Titanic, 11, The Lord of the Rings, 11, West Side Story, 10. If we undo F by interchanging the first and second components in each pair, we obtain the function 11, Ben-Hur, 11, Titanic, 11, Lord of the Rings, 10, West Side Story. This new relation is not a function because 11 is paired with 3 different movies. Often when we undo a function by switching the first and second components, the resulting relation will be a function, which we call the inverse function. In this section, we're going to study various aspects of the inverse function. First, though, we need to discuss what's called a one-to-one function. In order for a function to have an inverse, it must be what we call one-to-one. In order to be a one-to-one function and have an inverse, each x in a function must be assigned to a different y. You can determine if a function is one-to-one by looking at its graph and using the horizontal line test. The horizontal line test says that a function is one-to-one and has an inverse if no horizontal line intersects the graph of the function more than once. In example 1, we want to determine whether the function has an inverse. So example 1a, we have a function that looks something like this. Okay, not exactly the one on your paper, but something like this. Okay, and so the idea is you want to look and see, are there any places that you can draw a horizontal line and intersect that graph more than once? For this particular function, there's many places. Okay, you could draw a line here and intersect twice, horizontal line here, intersect twice, and many others. So example 1a, this is not a one-to-one function, and it will not have an inverse. In example 1b, you have this function. And again, the idea is you want to determine, are there any places that we can draw a horizontal line and hit this graph more than once? Okay, well here it just increases, and here it decreases and slowly flattens out, but it never ever becomes horizontal. It slowly gets closer and closer to the x-axis. So this particular graph, there are no places that you can draw a horizontal line and hit this graph more than once. So this is a one-to-one function, and this is an example of something that would have